so quickly, y'all. Man, this time is rolling by, and man, I'm just amazed how it just felt like, man, it just felt like we were celebrating New Year's and Christmas and stuff. And here we are, man, on the first day of June, and this marks hurricane season officially, y'all. Not trying to put a damper on anybody in our area, in the New Orleans area, but we got to start getting prepared for possible inclement weather, if you will. So, well, this is the day that the Lord has made. I shall rejoice and be glad in the day. And I pray that your testimony is that you will want to be in a posture of giving God praise in the day. What's up, everybody over on Facebook? Hey, Sanara, what's up, girl? How you doing, Sister uh, Elder Dexter? What's going on with you? Over on my conference line, I got 5606, 5825. Want y'all to help me tap somebody else in. Share your posts if you are on Facebook. Also, if you are watching by way of our YouTube channel, get somebody to be a part of it. And also, if you're on a conference line, man, conference somebody in on your conference. Hey, Sister Rhonda, good morning, First Lady. I appreciate everybody being up and ready to start off the week. What's going on, Minister Patrice, over on our YouTube channel? So look, I'm gonna get into it, y'all. I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna get my time started. And I'm not going to belabor the time. I'm just going to go ahead on and respect your time because I know everybody got a bunch of stuff to do. So if you're like me, man, your day is always jam-packed with a whole lot of stuff, right? You got to get a lot of stuff going on. What's up, Sister Rhonda? How you doing? What's up, Sister Judy? Appreciate you tapping in. I believe, hey, Sister Joan, what's going on to you? Good morning to you, ma'am. Listen, I want to talk to you about something, and I'm going to transparently use myself, right? I always use myself when I'm doing these 10-minute tune-ups, but let's go at it. So, something happened the other day. Me and First Lady, man, we have a good, solid, what I consider to be solid relationship. And I have made it a point to do something that that I believe is essential to me. It's important to me, right? When it comes to First Lady. And one of the things that I normally do is that if I'm leaving for the day, and if even if First Lady is asleep or she's resting, I will make it my point to go over and let her know I'm gone. Tell her, give us some indication of where I'm going to, and just give her some sweetness before I leave, right? Just give her a kiss before I leave, and on the other morning, something happened, man. Something happened, and it had nothing to do with First Lady. Let me just set the text. Let me just set the context this way. So what ended up happening is that First Lady every now and then she like me. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes, man, it's hard to sleep. Nothing bad, just hard to sleep, man. And when you find yourself with the opportunity to get rest. Well, when you into that sleep, man, you don't want nothing to disturb you. You don't want nothing to wake you up. And on the other morning, I think she was having one of those nights where it was hard for her to sleep. And I ended up that morning. I got ready to leave out. It was pretty early, y'all. It was pretty early because I try to get my day started off really early. And so I went over to her and I said, "I'm going, babe." And I kissed her on the forehead, and I left, right? And then I come to find out, she said, "Oh man, it seemed like everybody was waking me up, and when you came over, and the boys looked like they came in, started getting me riled up or whatever, waking me up." and and in that moment, I was like, "Ooh, I be wanting people to rest. I don't want to interrupt her rest because I know the feeling. I don't know if y'all need to talk back to me, man. When you in one of them good sleeps, or if you had problems with sleeping and then you end up falling asleep, and man, when you do fall, when you do end up falling asleep, man, you don't want nobody just hurry up waking you up because that breaks your sleep, and then it's hard to get back to sleep. I said all that, y'all, to say this, to say that all that to say this. So I'm on my way to where I was going. I was going towards Morero, and I'm in the car and I'm thinking and I'm talking to myself. Yeah, I talk to myself. I talk to myself, and I was saying, you know what? When you did what you did, I know you didn't have any ill intent. You wanted to let her know like you normally do, kissing and everything. But you started having this feeling that maybe you shouldn't do that no more. Maybe you shouldn't do that no more. Listen, I'm telling myself that maybe you shouldn't do, maybe you should respect her rest, and maybe you shouldn't do that no more. And in the moment, y'all, I check myself. I say, but you can't do that. You can't. You can't stop not doing what you've been doing. And here's the reason why. And this is kind of like what I want to talk to you about this morning. I really want to talk to you about this morning because I think it's really important. You've got to cultivate a mentality or mindset to maximize. What are you talking about, Pastor Dexter? It dawned on me in that time that I was going to the location where I was going to. It dawned on me that if I ever didn't do that, right? Say one morning I say, "Ooh, First Lady's sleeping. I see she's sleep. I don't want to disturb her, so I'm not gonna disturb her. I'm not gonna kiss her, let her know. I'm just gonna go, right? I'm just gonna leave." If I ever did that, and occurred, something occurred adversely during the day, and in other words, I didn't want to end up saying, "Man, I should have did that. I normally do it. I didn't do it this time." I didn't want to have no regrets, y'all. And that's what I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about making sure that you have a maximized mentality. And it starts with not minimizing your opportunity. Listen, we get opportunities, and when we get the opportunities, you gotta not see it as a small thing. Even that little greeting that I do with First Lady, I cannot minimize that opportunity because I may not have that opportunity forever. And I don't want to ever say, I wish I would have. No, man, I want to make sure that every opportunity that's presented to me, I take advantage of it. I take advantage of it. And listen, and in order to do that, you gotta mentally have be objective. You gotta mentally be objective. In other words, you cannot put yourself in a position or allow yourself to be in a position that you don't really assess what you're doing. To me, it's important. I really believe that to First Lady, it's important. It's important that we have that type of connection, right? And because it's important, objectively, I got to weigh the okay, do I not do it and try? Do I not do it and miss the opportunity, or should I do it and maybe cause some conflict or some some uneasiness? So you got to mentally be objective, man. You got to say to yourself, man, whether or not something is important enough for you to maximize, to take advantage of it, right? That's what you got to do. You got to do that. Man, you got to mentally assess what's going on. You got to have an objective. You got to objectively look at the situation and say, do I not do this? and then later on regret that I didn't do it, or should I go ahead on and do it and take the hit for it, right? And then finally, what you don't want to do is when you are maximizing any moment, or you having that maximized mentality that I'm gonna take advantage of every. You don't want to be in a position where you only move when you're obligated, right? You want to move when you're obligated. You want to put yourself in a position where I'm doing it because I got to. I don't have no other choice. No, man. Now I got to do it like this now, because if I didn't get a chance to do it before. Okay, let me ask you this question, and this might be rhetorical, but let me ask this question: Have you ever had a moment in your life where you stood back and said, "Man, I wish I would have did such and such. Man, I should have did that. Man, it was on my mind. Something told me to do it." Well, if you've ever been in that situation, that's a dreadful situation, because you have assessed that you missed out on an opportunity that you may not get again. Yeah, you may not get that opportunity again. And so when you're presented with a moment that you need to maximize, take advantage of it, right? Don't always feel like you gotta move. You can only move when you obligated to do so. When you obligated, I ain't got no choice. I gotta do it now. I done missed the moment. No, I want to do things on my own terms. I want to do it on my own terms. I don't want to do things when I'm obligated. I gotta do it. I'm under pressure to do it, right? You're under pressure because you either missed the moment, you either procrastinated and waited too late, and now I ain't got no choice. I gotta hurry up and go do it. I gotta get it done. No, man, you don't want to move when you feel like you obligated and you pressured to. But a lot of times when we find ourselves in those situations, in those positions, it's because we did not take advantage of an opportunity when we should have. And that's unfortunately, y'all. Unfortunately, when you don't take advantage of an opportunity when you should have, most of the time you find yourself under pressure. You find yourself under pressure. So let's not live like that. Come on now, let's not live like that. Let's make this day, and we're gonna call today Maximize Monday. We're gonna take advantage of every opportunity that's before us and that's presented. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. Whatever the opportunity is, let's just take advantage of it. Let's not procrastinate. Let's not put it on the back burner. In other words, let's just say this. If you have been contemplating in your mind, like a lot of times I do, if you've been contemplating, oh man, I need to give such and such a call. I haven't heard from them in a long time. Oh man, I hadn't talked to them in a minute. I need to give them a call. We'll make that call today. I'm telling you right now, here's a challenge. You're gonna still have all that you got to do in today. You still gonna have a lot to do. You got your whole agenda, but carve out a little time to do that. Maximize the moment and do it now. Well, Pastor, why? Well, I'll be so busy. Listen, let me explain something to you. If you don't have a maximizing mentality, if something occurs that you cannot, you don't know whether God is telling you or putting that on your heart. So because he wants you to take advantage of the moment, because you might not have that moment again. And I'm gonna be really explicit, because if you're supposed to call somebody, or you're supposed to pray for somebody, if you're supposed to do something, you know what I mean? If you're supposed to go somewhere, man, I need to go. Look, do it and maximize that moment today, because you may not have that moment, or that other individual may not be at your disposal. You may not be able to contact that person later on. So take advantage of the moment right now. Do it right now. The Bible says, do what you do quickly. Jesus told Judas, he said, what you do it quickly. Some stuff we just take our time, man. Sometimes we don't do what we're supposed to do when we're supposed to do it. Listen, if it's a son you need to talk to, a daughter you need to encourage, don't wait. All y'all need to do this right now. Take some time, your children, your grandchildren, text them today and just say, I love you. I know some of y'all do it all the time, but don't miss the moment. Text them today. Say, tell your brothers or sisters or whoever. Just text them and say, hey man, I just wanted to call. You was on my mind. Just wanted to tell you that I love you, because you may not have that opportunity again. You may not have that. So maximize today. Maximize Monday. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. I want y'all to have a great and amazing Monday, right? Let's take advantage of every opportunity that's afforded to us, and let's not miss it. Let's not miss out on it. All right? Look at all my people on there. Bro, Erwin, what's going on? Good morning to you, sir. What's up, Brother Norman? How you doing? What's up, Kay? How you doing, Minister Patrice? What's up, Sister Geraldine? How you doing? Hey, I appreciate everybody being on today, man. And I pray, Sister Adrian, that y'all receive something out of the 10-minute tune-up. And I want y'all to live that maximized levels, right? Because God is a God that'll bless you to the max. All right. I'll talk to y'all a little bit later. Have a great rest of your day.